Hey guys, it's Steph here. So today I'm going to be planting more hydrangeas. I absolutely love mop head hydrangeas. I think I found the perfect spot for them. I'm also going to be planting an oak leaf hydrangea, and I'm replacing a quickfire with the oak leaf because it doesn't like quite as much sun. It can handle a lot more shade than the quickfire, so I'm going to have to relocate that. But I'm just kind of want to go around and show you all the different types of hydrangeas I have in my yard and the locations that they're going to be happiest. So this will give you kind of an idea. If you live in a zone 6 climate, my chickens are going mad. If you live in a zone 6 climate like I do, and it's really hot and dry and not a lot of humidity, it gets around 0 degrees during the winter time, or a little bit less depending on what the winter wants to behave like that year. This year I'm really curious to see what happens. We really need a lot of snow and a nice cold winter. Anyway, and I'll give you some tips and tricks on protecting some of your hydrangeas, the ones that need that a little bit more than others, especially the ones that bloom on old wood like the oak leaf hydrangeas and the mop heads. So let's take a look at these mop heads where I'm going to plant them. I think they're going to be really happy here. I'm very excited about it. I love these hydrangeas, but they are a little bit trickier in my climate and they need a lot of protection. So this variety is the Summer Crush. This is a mop head variety. I got them at Lowe's for 50% off. I was super excited. I was waiting and waiting, and I practiced a lot of patience this time. Normally I just go for it. Their hardiness is -30. They do really well with hardly any sunlight, so an area in the morning about 3 to 4 hours, and that's it. But they definitely need that protection from the intense heat in the afternoon. So I'm gonna put them right here. This is my cute little shed. My husband updated it. I still need to paint it. I haven't quite gotten to it yet. I was gonna wait to plant these until I painted it, but it's not happening. So I'm just gonna plant them right now and protect them later on. But I love these ones so much. I do notice the blooms need protection from like our late spring frost that happens quite often. So with these, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the ground, and then in the winter time I'm going to create some little cages around it and fill it with leaves so I can protect the blossoms in the early spring. This year we had a late frost around June, which is not usually typical, and those blossoms on those hydrangeas would have just died off. The endless summer is supposed to have continuous blooms, but I want to make sure I get the most blooms that I possibly can out of these hydrangeas. So right here they're going to be nestled against this shop, so it's a little microclimate, so it's going to keep it warmer. It's going to protect it from the harsh winds or anything that might happen. And right here I have some trees. I have a willow tree and I have an apricot tree. So they don't get a lot of sun. They get sun till about 11 or 12, and that is it. So I think they're going to be really happy here. Just a lot of protection in wintertime. These are the ones that are a little bit more fickle. They do like my climate. I've seen them grown here and they do awesome when they're in the right spot. I also bought these hostas earlier. I'm going to just divide them into 3 and put them on the edges of these bright pink mop head hydrangeas. So that lime gold with that bright pink, magenta, and those blue clematis is going to be really pretty. Before I walk on to the oak leaf hydrangea that likes a lot of shade, look at my socks and sandals. Does this take you guys back to maybe your parents? My dad always wears socks and sandals. This is typical for my shoe attire. I'm really rocking it today. I don't know what's prettier, those hydrangeas or this going on. Here I have a quick fire hydrangea, and this area is very, very shady because of my walnut tree. I just have a lot of big mature trees right here, and it definitely likes a lot more sun. This blooms on new wood, so I'm gonna have to relocate this. I found another spot that gets quite a bit of sun. And then right here, I'm so excited about these. I love the oak leaf hydrangeas. Look at the leaves on those. I think they're so cool. So even if you don't get a lot of blooms, which I'm hoping to get a lot of blooms, you have great foliage and it looks beautiful, and it will get nice and big in the shady area. This is the Gatsy pink variety. So it is cold hardy down to zone 5, so -20 degrees. Oak leaf hydrangeas really do like the shade. The previous owners had a lilac bush and it did not get one bloom. It didn't get nearly enough sunlight. So that just gives you kind of an idea how much sun it is getting. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you some of the hydrangeas that are more sun tolerant, that can handle the full sun. It's just important with these that you water them enough. They're Peniculata Hydrangeas. So these are tiny little plants that I bought. They come in quart sizes. I got them off Home Depot. So they're kind of recovering. They came a little bit rough, but I didn't find any of them in the store. So I bought them pretty small so I could get the ones I wanted. They are going to take a little while to get big and mature, but that's okay. I just really wanted these varieties. This is the quick fire hydrangea. I have 3 of them right here. So you can see they had some leaves fall off and now they're starting to rejuvenate. They've been in the ground for a little bit. And here's another one. They're recovering okay. Okay, so right here, this is my sunny area. Gets full sun all day long. It's south facing. These get about 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. I'm hoping to keep them about 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. So right here, they're gonna be absolutely gorgeous with my Skyland Oriental spruce. So with these quick fire hydrangeas, they start out white and they turn to a really deep pink red. Start to turn that color a little bit sooner than other hydrangeas, and they really do like the sun. This area right here also gets a lot of natural erosion, so I'm going to add a lot of compost every year and quite a bit of mulch just to kind of keep the moisture in there. I don't know why, but this area gets a lot of rocks every single year. Also, the quick fire hydrangea is one of those that's a little bit more cold hardy, all the way down to zone 3. I'm only a zone 6, so I can only imagine living in a zone 3. So with these hydrangeas, they bloom on new wood, so I don't worry so much about protecting them. I think they'll be okay too here because they're protected by the house. I think they're really going to be happy here. So this is the last one I'm going to be planting today. This is the strawberry sundae hydrangea. It's a dwarf variety from the vanilla strawberry hydrangea. I think that's what it's called. So it only gets about 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. It's hardy down to zone 3, so a really nice cold hardy one. So these can handle a lot of sunlight. This area gets about 3 to 4 hours of that afternoon sun. So right here, our honey locust, it's suffering from a lot of borer damage. This area is becoming quite vulnerable because it's starting to die and it can become hollow. So we've probably got to cut it down because it could fall on the roof of our house. I already have a tree in mind that I want to plant here. So with these hydrangeas over here, they're going to get a lot of sun until that tree fills in. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and start transplanting that quick fire hydrangea to a different location and get all of my hydrangeas into the ground. I think it's going to be so pretty as they mature around here. And then right here is the Maui Cups hosta. They don't get super big, about 1 to 2 feet wide, and then maybe about 8 to 10 inches tall. I just divided one of them into 3. They did get a little bit burned this summer and eaten alive because I had them in a container pot in the sun a little bit too much. Over here, they're going to be really, really happy. But that bright green with the bright pink, and then those blue bell-shaped clematis flowers are going to be so pretty. And then you add a little of that silver with these silver gumdrops. So I have my little imaginary walkway coming around here. I want to add with those summer crush hydrangeas, especially with mop heads, if you're going to do some pruning, you're going to want to do it right after they're done blooming, as opposed to the ones that bloom on new wood, the Peniculatas. You can kind of cut those down in early spring. So these are going to fill in nicely. And if you're wondering what I'm doing right here, I'm going to plant a bunch of hollyhocks that I'm going to grow by seed every single year. They're so easy to grow. My last and final tips is I had to add that one of my viewers had a great tip that if your hydrangeas aren't blooming, it's usually a water issue. They're just not getting enough water. And our winter was really dry last year, and some of my hydrangeas didn't bloom, so I think maybe that was the issue. Since hydrangeas love the acid, I'm going to add this. I have never done that. I'm going to try it this year. And then this iron tone. So I have iron tone issues this year, and I think it's because our lack of water and it being so dry in the soil, it just caused issues with that, along with grubs all over our grass. Apply these maybe right now and in spring just to give an extra dose of iron. And then I just add some plant tone in spring. I'll just pay attention to my hydrangeas, and if they look like they're starting to get iron deficient again, in summer I'll add some more of that iron tone. And then what I do every year is add some compost to my soil just to make that soil really nice over time. And then another thing, I know this is just going on, I will add a thick layer of mulch, like 4 to 5 inches. I didn't go thick enough this year, so it didn't really stop the weeds like I wanted, and it didn't keep the soil as moist as it normally would do. I was a little bit afraid to go that thick, but now I'm learning it's okay, go 4 to 5 inches. All right, so the only thing I'm gonna have to worry about now after I've told you everything that I've done is just practice and patience. If you're wondering what hydrangeas I have in my yard, I've got some limelight primes, limelight, oak leaf hydrangeas, the strawberry sundae hydrangeas, some mop heads. What else am I missing? Oh, a firelight and a quick fire. So I've got a lot of different varieties, and so I am curious to see over time which ones are going to do the best. I've already have a video on some of the ones that have been my best performers. It highlights my limelight prime, some incredibles that do awesome here, and a firelight from a neighbor's house. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Go out and buy some hydrangeas, follow these tips, and I think you will definitely have some success. Have a great day gardening. Consider subscribing. If you have any questions, comment down below, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.